name of the book is Predictive Analytics, the power to predict who will click, buy, lie, or die. And the title in the Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese version is literally the same thing, click, buy, lie, die. So comprar, clicar, mentir, morrer. There's a lot of other verbs, a lot of other behaviors and outcomes that are valuable to predict. So that's a small example, but that's sort of a definition of the field. The ability to make these predictions about each individual person, what their outcome or behavior is going to be in order to target marketing, fraud investigation, manage financial credit risk, and many other kinds of operational decisions and large-scale operational processes that are best optimized by making all these individual predictions. Now, the best way to make predictions is from data analysis. Data sometimes sounds like a boring word, but actually data is extremely exciting. It's everything that matters. It's everything that we as people bother to write down or type in or somehow record based on Internet of Things and transactions. And even more significantly, since it's a long list of things that have happened in the past, it's a recording of history, it encodes the experience of an organization. So what this technology literally does is learns from experience. It's also called machine learning in the academic realm. So predictive modeling, predictive analytics is to learn from the data how to make these predictions per person, because it's those predictions that help improve operations. Now, the book with that title that's sort of descriptive is an introduction to the field, industry survey, some technical chapters, but in a way that's meant to be accessible to anyone. I am a former academic, a former university professor, and so I wrote it conceptually complete. It's used as a textbook at more than 35 universities, at least in the United States. But it's not written like a normal textbook. It's sort of more written in a pop science, entertaining, accessible, driven by anecdotes. People call it the freakonomics of big data. So it's accessible to any reader. People who are already advanced will find some advanced topics, especially in the last 3 chapters. So that's the basic gist of what the book is and what the field is. There's already a fair amount of traction, right? So some of the biggest applications are in marketing, so that'd be for targeting marketing. Who should you spend 5 reais to send a fancy brochure to, based on predicting are they likely to make a purchase compared to average, right? Should I provide a credit card to this individual? Are they going to become a profitable customer, or in the worst case, are they going to default on their payments? Are they a bad credit risk? For fraud detection, so large financial institutions and mostly large companies so far, cell phone companies, is this customer likely to cancel? Should we try to keep them as an ongoing subscriber to the cell phone service, renew their contract or whatever it is? So these application areas do have traction in Brazil. I see that it's growing very quickly. Brazil also may have a bigger opportunity in a way to my country, United States, that I'm more familiar with, because there's a greater abundance of publicly available data. So all this transactions, every time you do a notarization, a fiscal transaction, purchase stocks even of a private company, or et cetera, these transactions are an abundance of experience, right? So it may sound operational, transactional, boring, dry, but it's not, because those types of behavioral data are extremely valuable to help predict all these different kinds of outcomes, like click, buy, lie, or die, or whatever it is you want to predict about the people. These make a really huge difference. Business is a numbers game, and you want to play the numbers game more effectively. You want to tip the odds a little bit more in your favor, and the way to do that is to better and more precisely put these probabilities or predictive scores assigned to each individual as far as their behavior outcome. All that type of data, which is so much more readily abundant, and a company like Neoway, right, is consolidating and making accessible, that data is extremely valuable. So the opportunity is even that much larger here in Brazil to deploy predictive analytics.